The galaxy laughed as humanity bled. On the edge of the Orion Arm, a blackened hulk floated. A derelict ship older than stars, its hull pitted like the face of a dead god. The Vraxis Dominion called it the Graveyard Ship, a cursed relic that devoured fleets. They mocked humans for volunteering to board it. Primitive apes, the Vraxis sneered. They chase ghosts while we conquer worlds. But Commander Elias Kane, scarred and silent, led the human expedition. His eyes held no hope, only fire. The galaxy didn't know what that meant. Not yet. The Odyssey's Fang, a battered human frigate, docked against the derelict's jagged maw. Elias and his crew, 40 humans, 10 uneasy alien allies from the fractured coalition, stepped into its airlock. The Vraxis had refused to join, calling it suicide. The air was stale, metallic, like blood left to dry. The walls pulsed faintly, not with machinery, but something alive. "Stay sharp," Elias rasped. The alien allies, a reptilian Clithar and a gassiform Zin, muttered dissent. "This place reeks of death," hissed the Clithar. "Cress." The Zin's glow dimmed, wordless. They moved deeper, flashlights cutting through shadows that seemed to writhe. The corridors twisted unnaturally, defying geometry. A faint hum grew, a sound like a heartbeat but wrong, too vast. Lieutenant Mara checked her scanner. No life signs. No power, but something's interfering. Her voice trembled. But her grip on the rifle didn't. The coalition aliens lagged. Their distrust of humans palpable. Cress sneered. "Your kind always rushes to die." Elias ignored him, his silence louder than words. Then it came, a scream. Not sound but pressure slamming into their minds. Crewmen clutched heads, blood trickling from noses. The Zin flickered wildly, its form collapsing. Elias stood unmoved, his scarred face a mask. "Push forward," he ordered. The team stumbled into a vast chamber, its walls lined with bodies, no, husks. Thousands fused into the ship, their faces frozen in silent agony. "Human, alien, unknown species, all one in death," Mara whispered. "What is this place?" Elias didn't answer. His hand tightened on his blade. A low chuckle echoed. Not from the ship, but from Cress. "You see? Your species is nothing. You'll join them?" He raised his plasma claw, aiming at Elias's back. Betrayal. The humans froze, weapons half drawn. The Zin pulsed, undecided. The ship's hum surged, drowning thought, and the husk's eyes seemed to glow. Elias turned, slow, deliberate, his gaze locking onto Cress. "You sure about that?" The chamber shook. A crack split the ceiling and something vast stirred above. Alive. Watching, hungry. The husk's mouths opened, and a sound like tearing metal filled the air. Cress's claw wavered. Elias didn't blink. What had they awakened? The darkness breathes, a low, grinding pulse like teeth on bone, shakes the chamber. Elias Kane stands firm, his scarred face unyielding, while Cress's plasma claw trembles. The Clithar's betrayal hangs heavy, but the ship, it sees us, those husks, thousands of them. Woven into the walls, their glowing eyes move, not dead, not alive. Something worse, lower, your weapon. Elias's voice cuts, slow, deliberate. Each word a hammer. Cress hisses, scales flaring. But the Zin's glow pulses, a warning, maybe allegiance. Mara shifts, rifle trained on Cress. Her breath shallow but steady. The crew's eyes dart, human. Alien, all caught in the ship's gaze. The air thickens, like it's chewing our thoughts. This place doesn't want us here, but we're not leaving. Elias steps forward, boots echoing on the writhing floor. "Cress," he says, "you think we're weak?" Dry laugh, sharp as a blade. "Test that theory." The Clithar snarls, but the ship's hum spikes, a scream in our skulls. Crewmen stagger, blood dripping from ears. The Zin collapses, its form a flickering haze. Mara grits her teeth, stays upright. Elias doesn't flinch, the husks whisper. 1,000 voices layered wrong, stay. They rasp in languages we shouldn't know. The walls pulse faster, like a heart about to burst, a human tech. Ramirez checks his scanner. It's dead. Fried by the ship's will. This isn't tech, he mutters. It's alive. The coalition aliens freeze. Their distrust of humans now fear of this. Cress lowers his claw. Not from shame, from dread. Elias moves to the chamber's center where a pedestal hums, etched with symbols that burn the eyes. He touches it. A mistake. The floor splits, revealing a chasm. Black. Endless. And moving. Something writhes below, too vast to comprehend. Its presence a weight on the soul. The husk's whispers turn to screams. Feed us. The crew backs away, but Elias stands still, his hand still on the pedestal. Blood trickles from his palm. The ship drinks it. Mara grabs his arm. Elias, we need to move. He doesn't answer. His eyes lock on the chasm, seeing something we can't. The Zin pulses weakly. Cain, it knows you. Cress laughs, a jagged, desperate sound. Your species is cursed. But Elias's silence screams louder. He pulls his hand free, leaving a red smear on the pedestal. The ship groans, like it's waking up. A clatter behind us. Ramirez shouts, Something's coming! The corridor we entered, it's gone, sealed shut. The walls ripple, closing in. The chasm below stirs, and a shadow rises, not a shape, but a hunger. Elias turns, his face unreadable, and draws his blade. Hold the line, he says. Voice calm as death. What did his blood awaken? The ship hungers. Its walls close in, a slow, grinding crush, like jaws of a beast that's tasted blood. Elias Cain stands at the chasm's edge. Blade drawn, eyes locked on the shadow rising below. It's not a form. It's a void. Swallowing light, chewing hope. The crew's breaths catch. Human and alien alike, as the husk's screams turn to laughter. A sick, wet sound. We're not guests here, we're prey. Form up. Elias barks, voice slicing through panic. Mara snaps her rifle up. Sweat beading on her brow. Ramirez fumbles with a plasma torch. Its flicker weak against the dark. The Zin, barely cohesive, pulses warnings in colors we can't read. Cress. The traitor stands apart, his claws twitching, eyes darting to the sealed exit. You led us to this. He spits at Elias. No response, just that stare. Cold, unyielding, like he's already seen the end. The shadow in the chasm moves. Tendrils, not metal, not flesh, lash upward, snaking toward the crew. A human screams. Caught, dragged down, his voice cuts off. Swallowed by the dark. Mara fires, plasma bolts sizzling into the void. Doing nothing. The ship shakes, a deep guttural laugh. The pedestal pulses faster. Elias's blood now a glowing smear. It's alive, Ramirez whispers, voice cracking. It's feeding. Elias steps back, blade raised. But his eyes never leave the pedestal. Shut it down, he orders. Ramirez scrambles forward. Wiring sparking under his hands, the Zin flickers, too late. It knows you're kind. Cress laughs again, hysterical now. Primitive fools. You woke the devourer. Mara spins on him, rifle to his chest. Shut up or bleed. The Clithar snarls but backs off. The air grows heavier. Like drowning in oil, the tendrils surge, snaring another, the Zin. Its glow screams, then fades, dragged into the chasm. The crew freezes. Humans and aliens united in terror. Elias doesn't move. He kneels by the pedestal, studying its symbols, unfazed by the chaos. Ramirez, he says. Calm as stone, find the core. The tech nods. Hand shaking, but the ship knows. The walls pulse faster. The husk's laughter now a roar. Stay. Forever. They chant a new sound, metal tearing. The floor buckles. Splitting wide. Something massive shifts below. Its presence a weight on the mind. Elias stands, blade dripping with his own blood. He cuts his palm again, deliberate, and presses it to the pedestal. The ship screams, lights flare, blinding, and the tendrils freeze mid-strike. The crew stares. Hope and dread colliding. Cress whispers, "What? Are you?" Elias doesn't answer. His blood glows brighter. The chasm pulses. A shape emerges. Not tendrils, but eyes, hundreds staring. The ship speaks one word. Elias's voice, mine, what had claimed him. The ship claims, its voice, Elias's voice, echoes from the chasm, low, warped, like a god-mocking prayer, mine. The word burrows into our skulls. Heavy, wrong. Hundreds of eyes blink in the dark below. Each a star of malice, watching, waiting. Elias stands frozen, hand pressed to the pedestal. His blood a glowing river in its veins. The crew trembles. Humans, Cress. All trapped in the ship's gaze. This isn't a derelict, it's a predator. Mara grabs Elias's arm. Snap out of it. Her voice cracks, fear bleeding through. He doesn't move. His eyes distant, like he's seeing beyond the stars. The pedestal hums louder. Its symbols shifting, writing themselves in light. Ramirez. Pale mutters, it's rewriting itself. Learning, Cress hisses. Your leader's cursed. He's dooming us. Mara's rifle swings to him again, but her hands shake. The air chokes us, thick with the ship's breath. The eyes below pulse. Their gaze a physical weight. A human screams, Jenkins. The youngest, a tendril silent as death, wraps his leg. Pulls, he claws the floor, nails snapping. Mara fires. Bolts useless against the dark. Jenkins vanishes, his scream lingering. The husks laugh, their voices now a chorus. Singing in tongues that twist the mind, join us. The walls tighten, metal groaning like a dying beast. Elias blinks, slow, deliberate. He pulls his hand from the pedestal, blood dripping and the ship shudders. The eyes below flicker. Angry. He turns to the crew, voice low. Move now. No one questions him, not even Cress. They run, boots pounding warped metal, toward a corridor that wasn't there before. The ship wants them to move, that's worse. The passage narrows. Walls pulsing like flesh. Ramirez scans ahead, his device sparking. No readings, he says. Voice tight, it's blocking us. The Zin's absence haunts them, its loss a warning. Cress mutters. Your blood woke it, human. Elias ignores him, leading. Blade still drawn. His silence is a weapon cutting through fear. Mara stays close. Her rifle a lifeline. The corridor bends, impossible. Looping back on itself. A new sound, a wet, tearing rip. The floor splits behind them. Tendrils lashing out. Another human falls, Sarah. The medic? Her scream is brief, swallowed fast. The crew keeps running. No time for grief. The husk's song grows louder. Stay. Forever. Elias stops abruptly, facing a new chamber. A throne sits at its center, carved from bone, pulsing with the same light as his blood. He steps toward it. Mara grabs him. Don't. He looks at her, eyes unreadable. It knows me, he says, voice calm as void. The throne hums, calling. Cress laughs, madness in his voice. He's theirs now. The eyes reappear, lining the walls, watching. The ship speaks again, not Elias's voice this time. Choose. What does it want him to become? The ship chooses, its voice, not Elias's now. But a chorus of screams slithers from the bone throne. Each word a knife in the mind. Choose. The chamber pulses, walls alive. Veined with light from Elias's blood. Eyes line the ceiling, unblinking. Their gaze a chain on the soul. Elias stands before the throne, blade dripping, face carved from stone. The crew watches, breathless. Humans and Cress bound by dread. This isn't a ship, it's a god's trap. Mara's voice shakes. Elias? Step back. Her rifle's useless, but she aims anyway, at the throne. At the eyes, Ramirez whispers it's not tech. It's aware. His scanner's dead, smoking in his hands. Cress, scales rattling, snarls, your kind defiles everything. But his claws stay low, fear outweighing hate. The throne hums. its light pulsing in time with Elias's heartbeat. He doesn't move. He listens, the eyes speak. Not in words, but images, worlds burning. Fleets torn apart, husks weeping as they're consumed. The ship's history, its hunger floods their minds. A human crewman collapses, eyes bleeding, muttering, "It's alive." It's old. The husk's song shifts, no longer a plea, a command. Sit, rule. The throne's light flares, beckoning Elias. Mara grabs his arm. "Don't let it in." He looks at her, eyes distant, like he's already half gone. The floor quakes, tendrils erupt. Not attacking, encircling. They weave a cage around the crew, leaving Elias untouched. Ramirez shouts, "It's isolating him." Cress laughs, a broken, jagged sound. He's its puppet now. But Elias's silence screams louder. He steps closer to the throne, blade raised, not to strike, to study. The symbols on it shift, mirroring those on the pedestal. His blood glows within them, a new sound, a deep, resonant thrum. The chamber walls crack, revealing more husks, their faces twisting, smiling. Rule or die. The tendrils tighten around the crew, squeezing breath from lungs. Mara fires, bolt swallowed by the dark. Ramirez drops his torch, its flame snuffed out. Elias kneels, not in submission, but to trace the throne's edge. "It's not a choice," he says. Voice low, certain. "It's a test." The ship roars, a sound like stars collapsing. The tendrils pause. The eyes narrow. Elias stands, blade pressed to his own chest, ready to cut deeper. "If you want me," he says, "earn it." The throne pulses. Furious, the crew gasps as the tendrils loosen, just enough to breathe. Cress stares, his arrogance crumbling. "What are you doing?" Elias doesn't answer. The ship does. A new door opens, leading deeper, its light blood red. The throne speaks again. "Prove it." What does it want him to sacrifice? The ship demands. Its voice, 1,000 stolen screams, crawls from the blood-red door, each syllable a wound. Prove it. The throne's light pulses, hungry. Its bone surface etched with Elias's blood. Eyes in the walls glare, their gaze a vice on the mind. Elias stands, blade pressed to his chest, flinching. The crew huddles, trapped by tendrils. Humans and Cress choking on fear. This isn't a test, it's a crucible. Mara's eyes burn. "Elias, don't." Her voice cracks raw with dread. Her rifle hangs useless, barrel scorched from firing into nothing. Ramirez claws at his dead scanner, muttering, "It's reading us now." Cress. Scales dull, hisses, "You'll kill us all, human." But his bravado frays, eyes darting to the door. The husk's chant grows. "Give yourself." Their faces twist, mimicking Elias's scars. The ship knows him too well. Elias steps toward the door, blade steady, blood dripping from his palm. The tendrils part for him, but tighten around the crew. A human sobs. Tanner, the engineer, his arm caught. Bones cracking, Mara lunges, trying to free him. But the ship laughs, a wet, grinding sound. The eyes multiply, lining the door frame, watching, judging. Elias pauses, his silence heavier than the ship's roar. He turns to the crew. "Stay alive," he says, voice low like a vow. Mara shakes her head. "Not without you." But he's already moving through the door, into the red light. The tendrils release Tanner, but the floor shifts, tilting toward the chasm below. Ramirez grabs Mara, pulling her back. Cress snarls, "He's abandoning you." But the crew's eyes stay on Elias. They trust him, they have to. The door leads to a tunnel, its walls slick, pulsing like a throat. Elias walks alone, blade ready, the ship's voice in his head. "Give everything." Images flood his mind, his homeworld burning. His family's screams, his scars' origin. The ship digs. Peeling back his soul, he grits his teeth, keeps walking. The tunnel opens to a chamber, a vast heart, beating alive. Its core a writhing mass of light and flesh. The core speaks. Sacrifice. Elias raises his blade, not to strike it, but himself. If it's blood you want, he says, take it. The core pulses. Pleased. The crew's screams echo behind him. The tendrils are moving again. Mara's voice cuts through. Elias. He doesn't turn. The heart's light flares, revealing a figure, not a husk, but human familiar, his sister. Dead years ago, she smiles, eyes glowing like the ship's. Join me, she says. Who is she now? The ship lies. Its heart, a writhing mass of light and flesh, beats with a rhythm that drowns thought. Elias Kane stands before it, blade poised at his own chest, blood dripping from his palm. The figure, his sister Lyra, dead a decade, smiles with glowing eyes. Join me, she says, voice soft, wrong, like a memory twisted into a blade. The ship's eyes watch, lining the chamber. Their gaze a noose. This isn't her, it's bait. Behind him, the crew's screams echo. Mara, Ramirez, even Cress, fighting the tendril's grip. The tunnel seals shut, cutting Elias off. He's alone with the heart, with her. Lyra steps closer. Her face his sister's, but her movements unnatural, like a puppet on strings. Elias, she whispers, you left me to die. The words stab, reopening old wounds, his homeworld's fall, her screams in the fire, his failure. He grips his blade tighter. You're not her, he growls. Voice raw, but his hands shake. The heart pulses faster. Its light searing his eyes. Images flood him. Lyra burning, his hands too late to save her. The Vraxis laughing as they glassed his world. The ship knows his pain. It feeds on it. The eyes laugh. A sound like shattering glass. Give in, Lyra says. Her hand reaching, fingers cold as void. He steps back. Blade flashing, cutting air, not her, not yet. The heart hums. Amused. Sacrifice, it demands. Its voice now Lyra's, now his own. The chamber shakes. Walls bleeding, actual blood, thick black. The crew's screams grow faint. Smothered by the ship's will, Elias's mind reels. But his body holds. He's faced loss before, he's carried it. I didn't break then, he says. Voice steady, I won't now. Lyra's smile twists. Her face flickering, human, then alien, then something else. The heart's light surges, showing him the crew, Mara, bleeding, Ramirez, pinned, Cress, clawing at tendrils. Save them, Lyra whispers. Or save yourself. The ship's trap tightens. He steps toward the heart. Blade raised, not to cut himself, to strike it. The eyes narrow. The chamber roars. Lyra lunges, her hands claws now, aiming for his throat. He dodges barely, her touch freezing his skin. The heart laughs. A sound that cracks the mind. You can't win, it says. Elias swings. Blade biting into the heart's edge, it screams. Blood, his blood, spraying. The chamber shifts. A new door opens. Leading deeper, its light blinding. Lyra's form flickers. Her voice now a chorus. Choose wrong. And they all die. Elias freezes, blade dripping. The crew screams louder now. He looks at the door. Then back at the heart. His sister's eyes glow brighter. What did he just unleash? The ship rages. Its heart, gashed by Elias's blade, bleeds light and shadow. A scream tearing through the chamber. The sound splits skulls. Drives nails into thoughts. Elias Kane stands, blade slick with the ship's ichor. His sister's face, Lyra's face, flickering before him. Her glowing eyes weep black tears. Her voice a hiss. You cut me, she accuses. The eyes in the walls pulse furious. Their gaze a fire on his soul. This isn't a ship, it's vengeance. The crew's screams pierce the sealed tunnel. Mara. Ramirez, Cress, still fighting the tendril's grip. Elias's strike has awakened something worse. The heart throbs. Each beat shaking the chamber. Cracking bone walls. Lyra's form shifts. Half human, half monster. Her hands sprouting blades of light. You can't escape, she snarls. voice layered with the ship's hunger. Elias steps back, blade raised, his scars burning under her gaze. "You're not her," he says, voice low. A growl of defiance. The heart laughs, a wet, grinding roar. It shows him visions, the crew. Tendrils piercing flesh, Mara's rifle falling. Cress's claws useless. Save them, it mocks. Or save nothing. The new door pulses, its blinding light calling. Elias hesitates. His blood mixing with the heart's. The ship tastes it. The chamber shakes. Floor splitting. Tendrils erupt, not for Elias, for the walls. They tear the husks free. Their bodies writhing, half alive, moaning in agony. "Join us," they chant, crawling toward him. Lyra lunges. Blades of light slashing. Elias parries, metal sparking against the impossible. Her laugh is the ship's, cold, eternal. "You're already mine," she says. Mara's voice breaks through, faint, desperate. "Elias, we're losing!" He glances at the door. Then the heart. The husks close in, their hands grasping, faces twisting into his crews, Mara, Ramirez, even himself, the ship's playing his mind like a string. He swings, blade cutting through a husk, its body dissolving into ash. The heart screams again, louder, shaking his bones. He runs for the door, Lyra's claws grazing his back, cold as death. The husks follow. A tide of broken bodies. The heart's light flares, showing him the crew, tendrils tightening. Blood pooling, Cress roars, human coward. But Mara's eyes meet Elias's in the vision. Yielding. "Keep going," she mouths. He clenches his jaw. Steps into the door's light. The chamber vanishes. He's in a void, no walls, no floor. Just eyes, thousands watching. The heart's voice follows now. You see, a new shape forms, not Lyra, but a figure cloaked in starlight. Its face hidden. "Give me your soul," it says. Voice calm final. Elias raises his blade. Blood dripping. Try taking it. The void cracks. Something massive moves behind the figure. What has he challenged? The void breathes. Its darkness pulses, a living thing, swallowing sound, chewing light. Elias Kane stands alone, blade raised, blood dripping from his wounds. The starlight figure looms, its form shimmering, neither human nor alien. Something older. "Give me your soul," it repeats, voice smooth like a blade sliding into flesh. Behind it, something massive stirs, a shadow too vast to grasp, its presence crushing thought. The ship's eyes watch, endless, gleaming with hunger. This is no trap. It's judgment. Elias's scars burn his sister's face, Lyra's, still haunting his mind. The ship's lies claw at him, but he stands firm. "Not yours," he growls, voice raw, defiant. The figure tilts its head, amused. The void shifts, showing glimpses of the crew. Mara bleeding, Ramirez pinned, Cress fighting, all fading. Their screams echo, faint but enough to cut deeper than any blade. "You can't save them," the figure says. Elias tightens his grip. "Watch me." The shadow behind moves, a colossus of flesh and metal, its form defying reason. The ship's heart, or something worse. It roars, a sound that fractures the void, splitting the air like glass. The figure gestures and the eyes multiply, their gaze a fire in Elias's skull. "Submit," it commands, its voice now a chorus. Lyra's, the crew's, his own. He swings his blade, cutting nothing but air. The figure laughs untouched. The void pulses and the crew's screams grow louder. Mara's voice, "Elias, don't stop," pierces the chaos. He sees her in the vision, tendrils coiling around her throat, her eyes fierce, unbroken. Ramirez chokes, Cress roars, their fight not done. The ship feeds on their pain, but they don't yield. Neither will he. Elias steps forward, blade pointed at the figure. "Enough games," he says. "Show me the truth." The figure's starlight cracks, revealing a face, Not Lyra, not human, but a mask of shifting forms. Your kind is nothing, it says, voice dripping with Vraxis arrogance. Yet you endure. The Colossus moves closer, its edges bleeding into the void. Elias feels it. A mind, ancient, ravenous, tied to the ship. It's not just alive, it's aware. The figure raises a hand and the void tightens, squeezing his lungs. He drops to one knee, blade scraping the unseen floor. The crew's screams fade, replaced by silence. Deafening, final. The figure leans closer. Last chance, it whispers. Elias looks up, eyes burning with something the ship can't touch. Then take it, he says, and drives his blade into the void's heart. The Colossus screams. The void shatters. Light erupts, blinding, and the figure vanishes. Elias falls, blood pooling, and hears a new sound. Footsteps. Not the crew. Not the ship. Something else. Who's coming for him now? The void shatters. Light floods in, jagged, blinding, burning Elias Kane's eyes. His blade, buried in the void's heart, pulses with his blood, and the Colossus, that monstrous shadow, screams, a sound that rips stars apart. He falls to his knees, chest heaving, scars screaming. The footsteps grow louder, not human, not the crew, but deliberate, heavy, like a predator circling. The ship's eyes dim, but their gaze lingers, waiting. This isn't victory. It's a reckoning. Elias grips his blade, blood slick on his hands. The crew's screams are gone. Silence now, worse than death. The figure's mask, shattered by his strike, lies in fragments, each piece reflecting his face, twisted, scarred, unbroken. You dared, the ship whispers, its voice faint, fractured. The Colossus writhes, its form collapsing, bleeding light into the void. Elias stands, slow, defiant. I'm not done, he says, voice a blade of its own. The footsteps stop. A new presence emerges. Not the figure, but a council of shadows, their forms, alien Vraxis-like, yet older, etched with symbols like the ship's. They speak as one, voices cold as dead stars. Your kind was nothing, weak, fragile. Elias laughs dry, bitter. Yet here I am. The shadows pause, their arrogance cracking. The ship trembles, its heart flickering, dying. Visions flood him. The crew, Mara, Ramirez, Cress, alive. But trapped, tendrils loosening but not gone. The ship's power fades, but its hunger clings. The shadows step closer, their forms sharpening. Vraxis generals, the ones who mocked humanity, who burned his world. You woke us, they say. This ship was our cage. Elias's eyes narrow, and I broke it. The void shifts, revealing the galaxy outside. Vraxis fleets burning, coalition ships rallying, humanity rising from ashes. The shadows snarl, your kind will fall. But their voices waver. Elias sees it, fear in their eyes. The ship's heart pulses one last time, showing him the truth. It wasn't just a trap. It was a weapon built to consume, but humanity's pain turned its gears. Elias steps toward the shadows, blade raised. You underestimated us. The Colossus collapses, its scream fading. The shadows lunge, but the void cracks wider, light pouring through. Elias swings, blade cutting shadow, their forms dissolving. The ship groans, walls crumbling, eyes blinking out. The crew's voices return, Mara shouting his name. He runs toward them, the ship falling apart, its hunger starved. He finds them, bloodied but alive. Mara grabs his arm, eyes fierce. We're not done, she says. Cress stares, silent, awed. The Vraxis fleets falter outside, their arrogance shattered. Elias looks at his crew, at the galaxy waking to humanity's fire. Everyone else saw weakness. Humanity saw a reason to fight harder.